Hello everyone, you are watching Stars English Academy and my name is Shivam Rathod. And in this video, our guest is Mr. Robin from America. He is IELTS trainer, he is a public speaker and so many people has been trained by him and they are doing really great in their life. So today he is with us and he will be letting you know about multiple things. How can you clear IELTS exam? जी हाँ, आप IELTS exam कैसे clear कर सकते हो? Because IELTS exam is one of the toughest exam in this world. And how can you study in abroad और आप abroad में काम किस तरीके से कर सकते हो? Each and everything is in this video and do not miss this video because this video is going to really informative. And now we should not waste our time and we should start the video. Should we discuss about IELTS exam? How can we clear that?
The IELTS exam, of course, IELTS is a major international exam under the British way. And of course, in America, they have the TOEFL test. But most people around the world like the IELTS test better. Some people think it's easier than TOEFL. I think they're relatively the same. And a lot of people these days are more interested in the Duolingo test. Do you know about the Duolingo test?
Yeah, I know about that.
And a lot of people think that's easier than the IELTS test. Of course, Duolingo test is cheaper than the IELTS test. The IELTS test, I imagine, is very expensive in India. But for the IELTS test, yeah, that's a challenging. It's a challenging test, right? It's not something you can just go in and take and expect a high score. You have to certainly practice and prepare for this test. And, 1 month is probably not enough time to practice and prepare. 3 months is probably not enough time to practice and prepare. So I always recommend my students you should start practicing and preparing 1 year in advance, or at least 6 months in advance before your test, because it takes it takes a long time to properly learn the vocabulary, learn how to write, and practice your speaking to improve. Have you ever taken the IELTS test?
No, just I have heard about it and I want to take it and one day I will clear definitely.
Well, I think a lot of students confuse it as an English level test. Okay, my IELTS score reflects my English score. I think that's the wrong type of thinking. So when you take the IELTS test, you need a particular score. So for example, if you want to study in Canada and the university expects you to have a IELTS band of 7, let's say, or 6.57. So you're just studying for that band. You only need band 7. You don't need band 8. You don't need band 9. But I encounter a lot of students, they get band 7, but they think it's a level test and they have to keep studying IELTS to get band 8. But no. You just get the band you need and you never study IELTS again. It just gets you in the door. When you get in the door, then you study real English. Don't spend years and years studying IELTS. Just use it, get your band, move on. If you don't need IELTS, I would suggest there's better things to study than IELTS. IELTS is just for getting into a university. Yeah, some companies might require an IELTS score, but if you're not planning to study abroad, I wouldn't recommend studying IELTS. You could just study English in other ways.
Why should we clear this exam? Why should we clear IELTS exams?
Well, what's the question?
Why should we clear IELTS exam?
Yeah, if you're studying, if you want to study in another country, so if you want to go to America or any country, Canada, an English-speaking country, you need an IELTS score. If you're planning immigration to some countries, you will need an IELTS score. If you're working at an international company, they might require an IELTS score just to show that you are at a certain level of English.
Okay. Actually, I don't want to work in abroad. I don't want to work in America and all, but I want to clear this exam.
So I would say to you, no, you have the wrong thinking about English. Why do you want to study the IELTS? It is not an English level test. Don't think of it that way. It is a test, it's an academic test to show that you're able to study in a university. It doesn't reflect your English speaking ability. It doesn't reflect your English conversation ability. It just shows that you're able to survive at an American university or British university. So if you, as I said, if you are just want to improve your English, spending years studying IELTS will not really take you to a high level of English. That'll help improve your IELTS score, but not necessarily your general English. So for you, if you don't need IELTS, it's not a level test. So I don't know why you would want to study IELTS unless you need the score.
I
So
used to think this is all about English. So today I got to know IELTS doesn't mean English. IELTS is something else, right?
IELTS is just a score to indicate that you are able to go and study in American or British university. It is not a score to indicate your English level. It's not an English level test in the sense of general English. So yeah, I can, I can train my students on IELTS, but that's not the best way to study English. They're studying for a test, you know. Don't just study for a test. You got to improve your English for speaking and listening on not just the university, but you know, when you travel, wherever you go. So I think you speak English very well. You speak English
Okay.
well.
Uh, I I can speak that much. It means I can communicate you, and I'm able to communicate with the people. I can speak this much.
I think you communicate very well. You know, you were able to bring me here, and we're talking now. You don't need IELTS for that. You just keep studying the way you are or the way you're doing, and you'll do better.
Okay. One more question. As you have trained so many people, and you are the public speaker, you are the coach, you are the teacher who teach about IELTS exam. So how a student clear IELTS exam, if any person wants to clear?
Uh, if a new student comes to me, and of course I will check their level, their English level, their general English level. And for my approach, you know, there's sincere students and there's kind of lazy students. Lazy students just want the score. They don't really care about English. I just need a band 7 and then I can go to America. They don't really care about English. So those students, we just study the test. They get their band 7, they go to America. It's not my problem. But the sincere students, they're interested in improving their English. So I will work on improving their English. We will not study IELTS. I will just focus on improving their English. And after 1 year, when they take the IELTS test, that'll be easier for them because their English has improved so much. So the one group, we just focus on the test score. The other group, we focus on the English. So if you came to me today, I would ask you, are you just interested in getting a good score, or are you interested in actually improving your English? If you said, I'm interested in the score, okay, we'll just study IELTS test, IELTS writing, IELTS speaking, we'll just study the test. But if you said you're interested in improving your English, all right, let's do some reading, not about IELTS, about other stuff. Because IELTS gets you to the American or British university. It gets you there. But you still need to survive there. And IELTS is not enough to survive there. Like IELTS gets you there. But to survive there at an academic level, you need a really high English level. And a lot of students that go to like the UK and the US, they get a IELTS score, they go there, but they drop out because their English is not enough.
If I want to clear IELTS exam, so what are the some things which I need to follow?
Well, you got to study every day. You got to read, you got to write. This is hours of study every day. It's not only Saturday, it's not only Sunday. It's every day you're practicing the 4 core English skills: reading, writing, speaking, listening. You're doing that for hours every day. And I mean hours every day, like 3, 4, 5, as much as you can every day. If you like, for your entertainment, if you read for entertainment or you watch movies for entertainment, when you're doing the IELTS test, all of your entertainment must be in English now. All right. So, for example, you're in India, maybe perhaps you enjoy some Bollywood movies. Well, the moment you say, I'm studying IELTS, you don't watch Bollywood anymore. You got to watch American movies. Okay, you have to immerse yourself as much as possible in English, hours every day. And I don't really teach shortcuts. You know, I don't want to say cheating, but there's ways to English.
Long-term process, like slowly, step by step, we can reach to our aim. Because by shortcuts, we cannot achieve,
It
isn't it?
doesn't help you. You're more like, if you just focus on the easy way, taking shortcuts, and you do get to America, it's going to be more difficult. It's going to be really difficult. A lot of students do drop out. A lot of students do fail uh, when they get there. And that's disappointing, not only to the student, but through their family. It could be a big financial problem for the family, because it takes a lot of money to go there, right? So this is an investment. You and your family are investing in you to go abroad. Hey, this is not the time to be lazy. This changes your life. This changes your family's life. You got to study English, and you got to spend hours a day studying English. If you're not doing that, that's not the way. It's not the way.
Should I say this is a competitive exam? IELTS is a competitive exam. Should I say
What kind of exam?
competitive exam? Like in India, people are running for government jobs, IAS, UPSC, like that. Should I say it?
Well, if again, if it depends on, I would say the IELTS test is a good test, but again, it's only an indicator that you can survive at an academic level. If I had a company and I wanted an English test, I would ask my employees to get an OPIC test. Do you know OPIC? OPIC is more of a language test. It's not so academic. IELTS is academic, and most people don't need academic English. We're talking right now. We're not talking in academic English. We're just having a conversation. So the IELTS for government workers and like that, I would point them to OPIC, some sort of general language speaking test. But IELTS is okay. I'm not going to say it's not appropriate, but I don't know. I don't know how Indians view the IELTS test. How does India view the IELTS test?
I have seen multiple people. I have some other friends. They say IELTS exam is too hard. Shivam, can you suggest me how can I clear IELTS exam?
Well, the people that say IELTS exam is too hard don't realize that the IELTS exam gets you to the foreign university. When you go to the foreign university, you're going to realize the IELTS exam is easy. The foreign university real exams from the professors and the reading every night and the writing, that's hard. The IELTS exam, if you think the IELTS exam is hard, you should not be taking the IELTS exam, because the IELTS exam brings you up to this level. But when you go to the foreign university, that's really high up. So, yeah, the IELTS is the easy part. When you go to America or the UK, now you really have to study English because, you're going to sit in a classroom for 2 hours. That professor's just going to speak, in his natural English. He's not going to stop for you. And he's going to say, okay, go home tonight, read 30 pages, and come back tomorrow with some report. He's not going to wait for you. So you got to be ready. And the IELTS doesn't make you ready for that. It gives you a basic, you're basically ready for that, but it's hard work when you get to America or UK.
IELTS is the only first step. As you said, by the help of IELTS exam, we can in the room. But after that, we have to work hard a lot.
Yeah. If you're going to another country, that's going to be difficult. That's going to be challenging. And it requires diligence. It requires great effort. You cannot be the type of person that likes to play computer games. You cannot be the type of person that likes to play mobile games. These are distractions from success. So when you're going to another country, that is a lot of money, and your family is depending on you to succeed, and you need you need yourself to succeed. That requires English and hard work. So a lot of students don't get that. They think, oh, I want to study IELTS, so I get an IELTS score. And then if I get an IELTS score of like 7 or 8, that means I speak English. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. If someone has an IELTS band score of like the top band is 9. Now, most students don't get 9. That's understandable. But if a student has a band 8, I'm not impressed by any IELTS score. That doesn't impress me. Okay, that means you have a better chance of surviving in a Canadian university. What impresses me is when you go to the country and you get your degree, 4 years or even a master's degree or a PhD, when you accomplish that, I'm impressed. But if you say I got IELTS band 8, well, that means nothing. Millions of people around the planet have IELTS band 8. That doesn't mean you accomplished anything. That means you're ready to go accomplish something. So I would say if your band score, if you worked hard and got band 8, that's good. But what are you doing next? That is the real accomplishment. What are you going to do with your band 8 or band 7? These are high bands. That means you studied well. So what are you going to do with that? If you do nothing, well, I'm not impressed. But if you go to America and you study 4 years, yeah, wow, you showed that you can do it. You have the skills.
It means IELTS exam doesn't decide future. Yeah, you can go there, but after that you have to decide your future from your side. What you want to do. Am I right?
Yeah, it's to me it's like a driver's license. If I tell you now I have a driver's license, are you impressed?
Somewhat I can say, but for that
I mean,
do you know?
I
No.
mean, it means I studied, I practiced, I now have the skills to drive a car. Okay, that's good on one level, but that's not going to impress me too much. But like with IELTS, when the people tell me their score, I'm like, okay, I have the similar feeling. Okay, what are you going to do with that? Not everyone has a driver's license, but if you don't have a driver's license, that's okay. But a driver's license certainly doesn't mean you're a good driver.
It means if you have driving license or if you have IELTS exam, you can go to the interview. Like this is a room you can in. But after that, if a person, the leader, the boss is asking to you, now you have
Yeah.
to show me how to
Yeah.
ride or how to drive. At that time, real time comes. Yeah.
Yeah,
At that time,
the company might require a driver. You know, I want to work at a company. They require a driver's license, and if I get the driver's license, okay, you know, but the getting the job is the accomplishment, not really the driver's license. That's a skill.
Hmm.
But I don't know what's happening in India, but talking to you, it seems like IELTS is some sort of level test. They're treating it like, oh, if that person has a high IELTS band score, they must be very good at English. For me, as a teacher, native speaker, no, I'm not impressed. What impressed me is what you're going to do with that. If you just get the score, it means nothing to me. So
Actually, in India, people are running business behalf of IELTS exam. They are, they are and they are doing advertisement. They are saying to people, you have to come to us in 6 months. You can clear your IELTS exam like that. They are doing so rubbish things.
well, the IELTS exam is so expensive. Why would you do the IELTS exam unless you're going to use it? It's you know, I don't know how much it is in India, but an IELTS exam is usually $200 to $300. You know, that's not cheap. That's expensive. So
Yeah,
again,
in India, around 18 or 20,000 rupees
yeah,
one time.
that's not cheap, right? So you know, you got to have a plan. What's your plan? I'm going to study IELTS. I'm going to take the IELTS test. When I get my band 7, I'm finished. That's it. I put that on my resume. Okay. If companies require a band score, okay, I understand. That's the company's requirement. But again, if I was a company, I would focus more on OPIC or even TOEIC.
Skills, right?
Yeah. Well, the OPIC test or TOEIC test, not the
Okay.
IELTS test.
So now, how would you conclude it? Like, what would you like to say about IELTS? What would you like to suggest to our audience? What would you like to say?
I would suggest you work on your general English. So if there's two students, student A and student B, student A focuses on general English, improving reading, writing, listening, and speaking, not the IELTS test. Just focuses on that and improving for 1 year. And student B focuses only on the IELTS test for 1 year. After 1 year, student A never studied the IELTS test, takes the IELTS test, and student B always studied the IELTS test, takes the IELTS test. Student A is more likely to get a higher score.
Because without knowingly, that person has improved and that person has prepared for IELTS exam without knowingly. So
Studying for a test does not improve your English. It improves your test skill.
Got it.
But the person studying English will reach higher and higher levels when they go to the IELTS test and they do the listening. They're going to have better listening skills. They're going to have better reading skills. They're going to have better writing skills than the person who only studied IELTS. So that would be in my advice to anyone watching. If you have IELTS at 6 months, I would say in one day you spend 1 hour studying specifically to the IELTS test and 3 hours other stuff related to English. And to improve, you know, watch a Netflix show in English. Watching a Netflix show every day in English, although Netflix is not about, do you have Netflix in India?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, okay. So you're watching the English show in Netflix. It's not involving IELTS, but still it's giving you the skills to improve your listening on IELTS.
I got it.
It's more entertaining. You know, you're having fun, you're more likely to do it. For you, if you don't need, you know, you don't need the IELTS. You're better off watching Netflix in English.
just because of you, or like I have some other friends like you, and you people talk with me, and that's how I have learned. And now you are saying to me, Shivam, you do not need to clear the IELTS exam. To be honest, I used to think, Shivam, one day you will crack this exam for your checking abilities. Are you this much capable? You can crack IELTS exam or not?
Well, I'm going to argue you have accomplished more than a person who got a high band score on the IELTS. Right now, you are talking to a native speaker. Here we are. We're having a conversation in English. This is such a great accomplishment for you. This is better than an IELTS score. This
Hmm.
experience is an accomplishment. You should be very proud that your English is enough to bring me here to talk to you. A lot of people with IELTS score, it's possible they never talk to English native speaker from Canada, America. You've accomplished more. You've accomplished more. It's more impressive what you're doing than the IELTS.
Thank you so much, sir. Like
Yeah,
you are saying like this, your kind words. And to
yeah.
be honest, I'm really happy I'm able to communicate with the people. I'm able to communicate to you. Even though I did not think in my past time I will be able to speak English like this, I will be able to communicate with the people in whole around. This is a really great achievement in myself. I also feel that.
Yes, you should be very proud. And I have known you. We didn't talk much, but I've known you for about a year, maybe. We didn't talk
We
much,
interacted
but
in meeting when I was hosting the meeting. We
yeah,
interacted there.
yeah. I am here because I know you deserve me to be here. You deserve you know my attention because I can see you study very well, and I think you're doing a good job. And I would suggest continue your English journey. You don't need IELTS.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
okay, thank you so much.
All right. And your YouTube channel, what's your plan for your YouTube channel?
So for my YouTube channel, here I am trying to teach those people who do not know English, means Hindi to English. Okay, and as well as I'm making the videos to those people who are beginner, who can understand English, who can speak bit English. Like now, those people can listen our this video and they can improve and they can have the idea how to speak, and who all want to clear the IELTS exam, they can get the knowledge.
Yeah, well, good for you.
Yeah, so at my channel, I'm going to provide in future each and everything related to English, academic, and communication skills. Each and everything will be there in future.
Well, YouTube channel is hard work.
That's why I have chosen it.
Yeah, it's really, really hard work. Really, really hard. Yeah, I work YouTube every day and it's hard for me, right? It's really, really hard. So good luck with your channel. And of course, you are the right guy to teach and to help people. I think you can be successful.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much, people, you watching us. And please like this video if you like, and share this video to everyone. And please do not forget to subscribe and like it.
All right.